Oh, it's all good now.
Okay, Jai. Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langayati girim yatkripatmaham vande Sri Gurum Sinataranam Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Thank you, Prabhus and Matajis, for this opportunity. I'm sharing my screen, right, Prabhuji?
No, Prabhu, now you can share. You are not sharing.
Okay, I think I lost it. Okay.
Yeah, now you are sharing. We can see.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Prabhuji and Matajis, for this opportunity, presenting a summary of the on this Bhakti Shastri course. Especially, I would like to thank you, His Grace Ramacharya Prabhuji. So he is so kind to all of us, putting his valuable time at respect of his busy schedules, spending time with us to share this wonderful knowledge with all of us. And that really helps us to move on this path of devotional service and the next step. For last couple of years, we have been his association. So wonderful association. Again, thank you so much, Prabhuji, for all your hard work and your time for us you are dedicating. So thank you so much. Having said that, um, this is I'm trying to give a little glimpse of the whatever we learned and we have been learning. I'm trying to cover four modules, but with a limited time, I may not be able to cover all the other modules well. But Bhagavad Gita will be the primary focus, and we will little bit discuss on other modules also. So, Bhagavad Gita is a wonderful scripture, is given to all of us uh, to make it as a life manual and make it as a life companion and every moment of our life, and make our life successful. At the end, it teaches us how to go back to Godhead, Krishna. And the essential principle is how to live here very peacefully, and as well as how to leave from this place very peacefully to go back to the Godhead. This is essential teaching from Bhagavad Gita we can learn. The name Bhagavad Gita itself is the song of the God. These are all 700 nectarian words are delivered by Krishna. As we know, his pastimes and his activities and his form, his name are all identical. When it comes to Krishna's words, these are non-different from Krishna. So that way, each and one, every word has a potency. If we take a statement from Bhagavad Gita, and if we make it a life and soul out of it, then we'll make successful. In our conditioned life, one may say 1,000,000,000 things, but there is no potency in that. But in these statements that are coming directly from the mouth of Krishna, those have a lot of potency. A unimaginable potency is there. So it is also, the Bhagavad Gita is called also Gita Upanishad, because it has the essence of the all the Upanishads. That is what is explained. So there is a one nice verse. I like this verse from the Gita Mahatya by Sripada Shankaracharya. It says that Gito Sarvopanishito Ghavo Dukta Gopalanandana Pardho Vassa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdam Gitamritam Mahat. Very beautiful words. And set of verses are there. Gita Mahatya very nicely explained what is the greatness of Bhagavad Gita, what is greatness of Krishna. And in this particular verse, it is explained that if you take all the Upanishad, especially there are many Upanishads, especially they said like 108 Upanishads, prominent ones are there. If we take the Upanishads, compare the Upanishads to the cow, and if you take Krishna, a Supreme Personality of Godhead, a milkman, and if you take the Arjuna as a calf, then combination of these three, the essence, what we get from the cow is milk, Likewise, from this all the Upanishad, if we take the essence, that is Bhagavad Gita. So that Gita, even though Krishna talks to Arjuna in the battlefield, but it is for all of us, this nectarian Gita for all of us to meditate upon and rule accordingly. So that is what this Bhagavad Gita all about. So if we see the content of Bhagavad Gita, it is very nicely divided into three sections. One is the Karma Yoga, the first six chapters of the Bhagavad Gita, and it is very nicely protected in the middle six chapters are Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga. So like these divisions are there in Bhagavad Gita. So in the first section, Lord Krishna explains very well how one should be working in this material world so that we are not entangled by results of our activities. So if we are working in this material world with the attachment to the results, then we are bound. Then we have to come back to this material world again and again, again and again. We have been doing this for millions of lifetimes. We don't know when we had started this journey, but we have been doing continuously. But in Krishna, in this Karma Yoga, explains how Nishkama Karma, how one should be working in such a way that the results are not binding to us. Yajnadhat karmano yatra lokoyam sarma karma bandhanaha tadardham karma kaunteya mukta sangha rajit. So if one is working in such a way that results, if Yajnadhat karmano yatra, if you are not working for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu, then those results, whatever work we are doing, that is binding us to this material world. So that is the key point is explained in Bhagavad Gita. And as well as when we are working in such a way that even though we are there in this material world, we are not entitled to get the results. Like a beautiful example is given. If a lotus leaf is there, and if we sprinkle the water on the lotus leaf, then it would not touch. Padmapatram basaha. So likewise, we are also, even though doing all sort of activities, but according to the Bhagavad Gita, when we are following, then we are not entitled by the results. Then that makes us to go back to Godhead. And similarly, the Bhakti Yoga, we can talk more about the Bhakti Yoga in the middle six chapters. Krishna explains, especially there is a chapter Bhakti Yoga, devotional service, 12th chapter is there, which is very important for all of us. And Jnana Yoga, Krishna talks about the Jnana Yoga also, and towards the next six chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. Likewise, we have 18 chapters, and all 700 verses are there in Gita. Apart from this, Krishna also talks about what is the Supreme Lord, who is the Supreme Lord, five factors mainly, and who are the living beings, living entities, and what is the nature, and what is the kala, time, and what is the karma and process of activity. These things are also very elaborately described in Bhagavad Gita. So we'll focus on a particular things that are Krishna explained in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is how the soul is eternal and this material body is temporary. We are in the living entity, our spirit soul is residing in this body, and that living entity is a permanent, which is a eternal. So if you see the left side of the picture, then the living force, the soul, is transmigrating from one body to another body. Like here in this example, from childhood to youth, youth to old age to death. At the time of death, according to his karma and under the supervision of the Supreme Lord, Upadashthanamantasya Bhakta Bhokta Maheswaraha. So according to his supervision, then one takes the next birth. but soul is never destroyed. Nahanyate hanyamane serire. So when the body is slain, but the soul is not. It is eternal. Idehinosmin yada dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tada dehantar praptir dherastatra namuhyati. So when soul is passing from one stage to another stage, but it is never destroyed. And it is also compared to the cloth one wears. If one is wearing cloth for a certain period of time, if that is worn out, then he leaves that one, he wears the another cloth. Right? Similarly, but the soul also accepting the new bodies when the old bodies become useless and old. And in the second chapter again, it explains Nainam Chindanti Sastrani, Nainam Dahati Pavakaha, Nachainam Kledayantyapo, Nashoshayati Marutaha. The soul cannot be destroyed by any weapon, and fire cannot touch it, and a weapon cannot cut into the pieces, and water cannot touch it. Water cannot moisten the soul, and wind cannot harm the soul. So it is eternal, and but this body is temporary. When we know this knowledge, then we can act accordingly. Either this body, regarding the body, or the relations to this body are all going to be temporary. When Krishna talks about the temporary thing, is this material body, and he talks about the permanent thing, which is soul, and as well as he also talks about the what are the conditions of this material world, how this place is measurable and temporary. Janma Mrityu Jara Dukkha Doshanudarshanam. Krishna explains how one should have the vision that this place is a temporary and miserable also. So maybe the happiness we talk about is a flickering happiness, is not going to be there today for some time, but next moment we don't know. Padam padam padam, anything could happen next moment of time. So, but with the flickering happiness, we think that that is the ultimate thing, but that is not, because this material world is temporary. Anything we derive from this material world is also going to be temporary. We never able to get a permanent thing uh, from something which is temporary. So in this temporary world, how we should be living is explained very well in Bhagavad Gita. So then Krishna says, Mamupetyatu Punarjanma Dukkhalayam Ashasvatam. So one once attains his supreme abode, we can talk about it more. Then one never returns to this place which is Dukkhalayam, and temporary. Dukkhalayam means this is a place of misery and it is a temporary. Then never comes back to this world again. We can talk about this one more. So here Krishna further explains how his abode looks like and how to achieve that ultimate abode of Krishna. So Krishna says that his abode, it doesn't require any sunlight or moonlight, and it doesn't require electricity also, because it is beyond this material creation. Taddhamam paramam mama na tadbhashayati suryo na shashanko na pavaka yadgatva na nivartante taddhamam paramam mama. That is the supreme abode of Krishna. And Krishna says that once one gone there, he never returns to this miserable place and temporary place again. That is Krishna's promise. How one can go to that place is also explained. Antakale च मामेव स्मरण मुक्त्वा कलेवरम यह प्रयाति स मद्भावम ज्ञाति अस्त्रि तत्र संशयः. So he says that if one remembers Krishna at the time of leaving his body, then he would not come back to this material world again. But at the same time, it is not very easy to remember Krishna at the time of death, because it is said that he is so painful condition at the time of death. Thousands of scorpions, if the biting, how painful it is. that much pain the living entity experiences at the time, right? So in that situation, it is very difficult to remember Krishna unless one is constantly practiced Krishna consciousness whole throughout his life. If one is not practicing that way, if he remembers something else, if he attach to something else, Krishna explains that also. That state, whatever the state one has at the time of leaving the body, then that state he is going to get without fail. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tijakyante kalevaram tam tamevaiti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitaha. If one remembers a particular state of thing, then he will, for sure, he will come back to in that state. The best examples are given are Bharat Maharaj. He remembered the deer, and even though he performed a lot of devotional service, he went to the bhava state, but he has to come as a form of a deer. That's how this material nature works. A king, Puranjan, he was at the last moment, he was thinking about his wife, woman. Then at the time of next, at the time of death, that's what he was thinking. And next life, he has to come as a woman, a beautiful woman. So that's how this material nature works. Whatever the state of mind one has, then he has to come back to, in that state. That's why it is very important to attach to Krishna somehow or other. mm, Then to get his nature to go back to Godhead. That is the ultimate goal of this life. Another example is given: a caterpillar thinks of becoming a butterfly, and in the same life, that caterpillar becomes a butterfly. So similarly, when we are completely absorbed, as it is explained in Bhagavad Gita, then we'll get the body, same similar bodily constitution of the Krishna also. But we never become Krishna. But it makes us to go back to Krishna. That way, Krishna concludes here that always tasmat sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmara yudhyacha mayarpita manobuddhir mame vaishyasi samsayaha. So Krishna says that, oh Arjuna, even though he is giving the instruction to Arjuna, but it's all for all of us who are working, right? Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu, all the time. Therefore, Arjuna, mam anusmara, tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyacha. Do your prescribed duty just by thinking of me. And my arpita mano buddhir, Krishna says, my arpita mano buddhir, the mind and intelligence should be focused on me. And in this way, if you perform it, then for sure you will come back to me. And Krishna not only gives the problems, but gives the solutions also. He explains both what is the material world works, how it works, and at the same time he gives the solutions. And another emphasis Krishna has given the Guru and Shastras. For one, a conditioned soul should go to a Guru, bona fide Guru, to understand this wonderful science. Otherwise, it is very difficult. So many times Prabhupada gives an example that if one wants to become a doctor, then he has to go to school and take the instructions from the professor. Then that's how he'll he'll become doctor in due course of time. Similarly, this spiritual knowledge is also very subtler than the material knowledge. It is very much required to go to the a guru. Krishna says that tatvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshinaha. Because the guru, the bona fide guru, had seen the truth, tattvadarshi, then he imparts the knowledge to you and serve him. And pariprasnena, ask the questions in a humble way. That way, when you are serving the guru, by his grace, you will get the knowledge. And at the same time, Krishna emphasizes it should be backed by the Shastra. Shastra is very, very important. If one is not following the Shastra and Guru, then he would not be getting the results that are supposed to be getting. Means he would not be, Krishna clearly says that if one is acting whimsically, then he would not get the happiness that he deserves, and as well as he would not get the ultimate goal of the life also. यः शास्त्रविधिमुत्सृज्य वर्तते कामकार्तः न स सिद्धिम् अवाप्नोति न सुखं न परां गतिं न सुखं, there is no happiness, न param gatim, one would not be get to the ultimate destination of the life also. So if one should be very careful to stick to the sastras. This is here I would like to thank to our Ramacharya Prabhuji. So he is very emphasizes this point also, stick to the sastras, and as well as whatever our acharyas and Guru Parampara has given, sticking to that one, that should be good enough. No need to go to the uh, here and there. Thank you, Prabhuji, for that. Though, then and another emphasis in Bhagavad Gita is to become a bhakti yogi. And our mission is also same. Srila Prabhupada's mission is also same, to become a bhakta of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this Bhagavad Gita, Krishna very nicely explains how we become a bhakta of the Krishna. So here Krishna says that always think of me. It's from the 18th chapter. Always think of me, become my devotee, and worship me and offer your homage unto me. In this way, you are going to come to me for sure, because this is the Krishna's promise again. Manmana bhavamad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishi satyam te prajayane priyosime. The pradijane priyosme is also very important. I promise you because you are my very dear friend. Krishna's promise. So that's how there were 9 devotional services are there. Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Pad Sevanam, Dasyam. These 9 devotional services are there. So those are also from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. We can understand that. Then how we become a devotee is also explained here. And 12th chapter is also very important. Krishna explains what kind of person is Krishna is going to like. He specifically mentions, and he gives the different steps also, how to become his devotee. So here, from the last verse of the Bhagavad Gita, 12th chapter, he says, those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engages themselves with faith, making me the supreme goal, are very, very dear to me. After giving the so many instructions, Krishna concludes this verse as the 20th verse of the 12th chapter. 12th chapter and 15th chapter are very important for us. As much as we can meditate on those chapters, read those chapters, and see what is the content is given in those chapters. And in the 18th chapter, again, Krishna says that only one can know Krishna by devotional service only. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yachasmi tattvataha. Only one can understand Krishna, only devotion, only by nothing else, not by the austerities, not by the severe penances, not by the rituals. No, nothing works with Krishna, only bhakti. Bhaktyamam abhijanati. The unconquerable. Krishna is called as Ajita. Ajita means is unconquerable. Unconquerable becomes conquerable by devotional service only. So he plays very interesting roles to oblige his devotees, like Mother Yashoda. We can go against with a stick to Supreme Personality of Godhead uh, to beat him, or she binds Krishna also with a rope. Is it possible to Krishna bind Krishna? He is unlimited, and nobody can know what are these appearances are. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is explained that one may be able to count the stars in the sky, and one may be able to count the sand particles. One may be able to count the snow flakes, but Krishna's appearances are unlimited. Nobody can understand how big Krishna is. Name viduhu suraganaha prabhavam maharshayaha. The Aham Hadi Deva Devanam. So Krishna says in Gita that nobody knows. Even the great demigods also, Name Viduhu Suraganaha, they don't know my appearances, my what is Krishna is. They also don't know how big Krishna is. That Krishna becomes a small boy for Mother Yasoda because of the devotion. He becomes a child, and he allows the devotees to play with him, and he allows the devotees to climb upon him. That is Krishna. So that way, the Krishna is so big, Ajita, Asamavurdhva, nobody is equal to or above Krishna. Such Krishna only conquered by the devotion. Bhaktyamam abhijanati. So for us, this bhakti is the topmost goal to achieve Krishna. Here, the left side picture is um, Madhavendra Puri, great devotee of the Lord Krishna. So he was fasting. I think we all know this story. Uh, and that time Krishna comes and gives with him pot of milk. And another case also, Krishna comes and gives the kshiranu also, where he wanted to take that prasad, but Krishna steals one bowl of the sweet rice, and that is delivered to Madhavendra Puri later. So he was a great devotee. Krishna goes to that extent for his devotees. This is the last slide for Bhagavad Gita. So this is a fearless message, and Krishna delivers in Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna says that Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Krishna says that declare it boldly, Arjuna, my devotees never perishes. Because Krishna goes any extent to protect his devotee. So here, if you see the picture of the left side picture, Krishna had made a promise that he would not lift any weapon in the battlefield. That was his promise. When Krishna said something, he would never go back on that, right? But when Arjuna was in danger because of the Bhishma Deva was shooting the arrows like anything to destroy Arjuna, then that point of time, he didn't care about his promise. He jumped out of the chariot and he took up a wheel and ran against Bhishma Deva to kill him. Even though he made a promise that he would never lift the weapon, but when he saw his devotee as the danger, he would not care about his word. So Prabhupada says that he broke his promise. Here he is asking Arjuna, declare it boldly that my devotee would never perish. That kind Krishna was Bhaktavatsala. In the Bhagavatam, it is explained in the Durvasa Muni's story, Ambarish Maharaj's pastime. Krishna says that I am in the core of my devotees. They are in my heart, and I know nothing else except my devotees. And similarly, my devotees would not know anything about me. So that's how the relation between the devotee and Krishna is. But to get that kind of mercy from Krishna, we have to do our part. How Ambarish Maharaj was doing, all his senses, he was engaged in the service of Krishna. His legs going to the temple, his hands to clean up the temple, his eyes to see the deity of the Krishna, his ears to hear the Krishna Katha, his tongue to taste the Krishna Prasad. That's how all his senses are completely used in service of Krishna to make the perfection. That is the best way for all of us. And Krishna says that Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janaha paryupasate tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. If one is doing the Ananya Chintana this way, completely engaged and absorbed in Krishna, then he says that I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. Ananya Chintayanto Mam. He personally says that Vaham Aham, I do it, I take care of it. This is Krishna's promise. So, and towards the end of Bhagavad Gita, this is the essence of the all the instruction is given to Arjuna that 1866. So he says that Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshayishyami masuchaha. Abandon all religion, just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. This is Krishna's promise again. What he recommended is simply surrender unto him, then he will take care of the rest. No need to worry about anything. Because we are here either enjoying or suffering because of our results of the previous activity, knowingly or unknowingly, what we had committed for many lifetimes. So to wanted to nullify that, only thing is to surrender to Krishna according to the whatever the instructions he has given in Bhagavad Gita, and I'll make our life successful. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, mm, all glories to Sri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of the dust for accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of the conditioned life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtana movement is the prime benediction to the living beings because it spreads the benediction moon and it enables us fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says Dhavagni. We wanted to extinguish that Dhavagni, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's recommendation is to chant the holy name of the Lord. Here Krishna saying surrender to Krishna. So this way, when we are performing our devotional service, then we'll make ourselves eligible to go back to Godhead. This is again wonderful instructions. If we read again and again Bhagavad Gita, it gives a new meaning to each time, and we'll be more appreciate this Bhagavad Gita. Especially, I personally I feel like that from my childhood onwards, somehow or other. Connected to Bhagavad Gita, even though I was not connected to ISKCON, but through other channels. But by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, we are all relishing this Gita as we are doing. I think that is the end of the um, Bhagavad Gita on summary. So these next few ones may go quick, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So is it okay?
Oh, very, yeah, beautiful. I really like the way you connected the dots and put everything together. I really enjoyed it. And the way he concludes, the way you started from, I guess, entire Bhagavad Gita, very nicely presented, Prabhu. I loved it. So, anybody, anything that they would like to ask, Prabhu? Any questions from the presentation before I ask anything? From the participants, anybody has anything that they would like to ask from the any slide that Prabhu had? Vimla Mataji, Vimla Mataji, do you have anything to ask?
No, Prabhuji, yeah, it's very nice, Prabhuji. Actually, summary. Prabhuji, thank you so much for sharing. You summarized the entire Bhagavad Gita. It was so
Yeah, very
nice.
nicely.
Yeah,
I
thank you
really
so much.
like.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Prabhu,
Thank
can you go
you.
to the next slide?
Yes, Prabhuji. So, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So shall we go continue, Prabhu? Is it okay time-wise?
Yeah, go to the I have one questions that I wanted to ask.
Oh, okay. Next slide.
Yeah, keep on moving.
Oh, okay, okay.
Uh, next one. Where we have the yoga part. Karma yoga, Niskam yoga.
Oh, okay, okay. So the Bhagavad Gita verses.
Yeah, section. Yeah, this one in the very first. Yeah, this one.
Okay.
So Karma Yoga Bhakti. Why you have order like that? Like you said, Karma Yoga, then Bhakti Yoga, then Gyan Yoga. Why like that? Normally the people say
Uh,
Karma Yoga. Is there any
yeah,
reason?
yeah. The reason is I think the Bhakti Yoga is the middle Prabhuji. So that's why I have.
Oh, in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhakti Yoga is coming in the middle.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
First six
Because
chapters, middle and the
yeah,
rest.
yeah. No, that's makes sense. I thought that maybe you were thinking that Karma Yoga, then Bhakti Yoga, then finally you come to the Gyan Yoga.
No, no, okay. I think not yeah, but yes, but the chapters I divided, that's it. But yes, to your point, the Bhakti Yoga is the topmost one. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I just wanted to be clear.
Okay, okay,
Make sure that we are aligned before I assume anything. Yeah.
okay.
When you said that since Bhakti Yoga is the middle of the Bhagavad Gita, that's for sure.
Yes.
Then that make more sense to me. And then this is basically the topic of the Bhagavad Gita, which is Paramatma,
Yeah.
Jiva, Prakriti, Kal, and Karma. Right?
Yes. Prabhu.
Okay. Keep on going, Prabhu. Keep on going, Prabhu.
Okay. So then
The
we.
one slide before.
Oh, okay. You wanted to have a question, Prabhuji? Any other question?
Can you go to the Nectar of Devotion section?
Yeah.
Yeah. Next slide.
Okay. So nectar of devotion is
Yeah.
given by the name is the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the nectar of devotion. So Prabhupada has given a summary on this one very nicely. So it explains nectar of devotion explains how one should be performing the a devotional service is very nicely explained, and what is the pure bhakti is also explained, and how one should be doing the devotional service is also explained. So one very nice verse we all connected is Anyabhilashita Sunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam Anukulena Krishna Anusilanam Bhakti Ruttama. So one should be doing the perform the devotional service without any a tinge of material desire. If the material desire is there, that means we have to come back to this material world again. Anyabhilashita Sunyam, zero the desire except the serving the Krishna. And another point also in this verse explained is that favorably one should be running the service in a loving way. So Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, right? So Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhakta Prayachati Tadaham Bhakti Hapokrutam Asnami Prayatatmanaha. With love and devotion, that is very a key element. So when we are doing that way, then that is the a pure devotional service. Otherwise, the Kamsa and Shishupala also did a devotional service, but unfavorable devotional service they did. They always constantly thinking of Krishna, and they got their destination also. But they performed devotional service in an unfavorable way. But as a devotee, should be doing in a favorable way. Then the next one is also it is explained that Sarvapadi Vinirmuktam Tatparatvena Nirmanam Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Richate. So when we are engaging our senses in the service of Krishna without any material designations, Sarvapadi Vinirmuktam, then that is also called as bhakti. How Hambarish Maharaj again did his service to the Krishna by engaging all his senses. And nectar of devotion also explains one should be following the Shastra. Krishna also said in Gita, here also it is said that one should be following the Shastra. Otherwise, if you are not following the Shastra and doing something whimsically, it is clearly says that we are unnecessarily creating the disturbance in the society. That's what exactly going on in this today's world. Unnecessarily. Smriti Smriti Puranadi, Pancharatra Vidimpina, Aikantika Hared Bhakti, Utpata Eva Kalpate is an unnecessary disturbance in the society. If one is performing the devotional service or anything that sort without following the Guru and Shastra. And this devotional, it also explains how difficult it is to understand Krishna. So by using our material senses, because senses are imperfect, we have defects. Mm. So with the defects like illusion, we are illusioned, our senses are imperfect, and we have the cheating propensity. With these senses, we cannot understand Krishna, we cannot appreciate Krishna or his name, form, or qualities. But how can we understand Krishna? Only by devotional service. Atha Sri Krishna namadina bhavet grahyam indriyai sevonmukhi jihvado swayam eva spuratyada. When one is rendering the service to Krishna in the loving way, then sevonmukhi jihvado swayam eva spuratyada. He gives that intelligence. He from within he gives that understanding so that we can understand Krishna. It is not by our own endeavor. In Bhagavad Gita, also Krishna says same thing. Tesham satayuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam. I give that intelligence. Dadami buddhi yogam tam em mapayantite. By that intelligence, you will come back to me. So again, at the end, by our endeavor, by our devotional service, this the Krishna gives that intelligence. By that intelligence, we can go back to Godhead. Otherwise, on our own, we cannot do with our senses. And showing the God also not going to work, because unless one we are qualified, Krishna is not your order supplier, Prabhupada says. So that is what a little bit summary on that one, Prabhuji. And maybe we can quickly cover these two also, and then we'll see. But the next one is Nectar of Instruction. So this is also given by Srila Rupa Goswami. It just also explains what are the do's and don'ts are there in a devotional service. So how one should be controlling his senses so that can make the all the disciples all over the world. Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jihva vegam, udropastha vegam. Etan vegan he vishateha dhira is called as dhira when he is controlling his urge to speak and his mind demands, actions of anger and his tongue, belly, genitals. When he is controlled, then he's become eligible to make the disciples all over the world. And this section also explains that what are the things that we should not be doing, or what are the things that spoil our devotional service, and what are the things favorable to devotional service is very nicely explained. These are all verses we can meditate on daily basis. The 6 things are explained that spoils the devotional service: overeating, over endeavoring, unnecessary talk, prajalpa, and rejecting the rules and regulations, not following the sastra, bad association, unwanted association, and being greedy. When these 6 things are there, that spoils the devotional service. And at the same time, favorable things, how one should be, this is also explained in the same way. If one goes to diseased person to the doctor gives certain things to do, certain things to don't. Then both of them should be followed. Then here favorable things are explained. We're having enthusiasm in the devotional service, and with the Rakshishyati iti vishwaso, when one have the full faith, then that is going to protect. With confidence, one should be acting, and patience. One should be patient enough to get the results, but results are for sure. Acting according to the regulation, again following the regulative principles is very important, and abandoning all unwanted association, non-devotees association, and following the footsteps of the great acharyas, Mahajanayana Gata Sabandha. That is a way to make a quick success. Very, very instructive instructions are given in the Nectar of Instruction. The final one is Ishopanishad. We quickly touch on this one, then we'll wrap up here. Ishopanishad is somehow it gives the implication of the impersonalism. But if we study, as Prabhuji has nicely, Ramacharya Prabhuji has nicely presented, then we can understand from this one how a great Krishna is explained. In this material world, everything animated or inanimated belongs to Krishna only. Aham sarvasya prabho mattaha sarvam pravartate. Krishna says, everything is coming from me only. He is the source of everything. So here it confirms that everything belongs to Krishna, and we should be aware of that everything belongs to Krishna, and whatever quota is given to us, allocated out, we should be satisfied with it instead of encroaching to others. This very instructive thing to apply in our daily lives. And it is also explained how great Krishna is, how inconceivable his energies are there. He doesn't walk, but he walks. He is very far away, but he is very near also. So, likewise, Krishna's energies and appearances, we cannot understand how he could do. He is bigger than the biggest, mm, and smaller than the smallest also. So, uh, that is how Krishna. If we are trying to fit Krishna into our limited abilities, the Krishna never fits in. But we have to understand so the Shastras how Krishna is. And finally, in this nectar of sorry, uh, Ishopanishad, towards the end, a devotee nicely prays to Krishna towards the end of the life, how he served Krishna at best of his abilities, and he asks to Krishna to give the permission and to be favorable, even though he committed anything knowingly or unknowingly. Forgive him and make show his mercy. That is a prayer a devotee makes towards the end of it. So I think that is what Prabhuji's, Mataji's. Thank you so much for your kind attention. So this is the essence of it. What I have grabbed and tried to share here. I think I'll stop here. Thank you so much again, Prabhuji, Ramacharya Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your kind association. We all really appreciated it. You make us learn this and make us serious in this process. Thank you so much again. Hare Krishna.
Oh, nice. So you had presentation on every book, huh?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I try to.
Wow. Okay. Can I see the slide for, once again for nectar of instruction? I want to see what are the slide, what are the theme you have picked up. Yeah.
Uh, okay.
Vachu Begum, okay. Yeah. Six things must spoil. Okay. Things of spoiling and favoring. Okay. Okay. Hmm.
Yes.
And then go back to nectar of devotion.
Okay.
Pure devotees definitions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the one, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So okay. 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 And then please continue. Continue. That's fine. Go to Isopnisha. So you are picking up the words that suits your personality, like pure devotee suits everything that is matching with pure devotion. Wow.
Mm.
Mm. No, they say that whatever you have inside comes outside. No,
Yes, Prabhuji. That is true.
that's very nice. Anybody, any question for Prabhu? Anything anybody would like to ask Prabhu?
Yeah, no question, Prabhuji, but it really, really very nice, Prabhuji. Prabhuji presentation and the way he softly, um, talking about Krishna and Krishna. Everything is Krishna, 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 and Krishna devotee in all four like start with
Sessions.
Bhagavad Gita, then next of instruction, next of devotion, and Sri Ishopanishad. All places so nicely, Prabhuji, so softly and nicely cover everything. Krishna must be loving this presentation. And
Ask him tough question, Prabhu. Something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ask him tough. Ask, you have to ask. I'll make it mandate then, Everybody should ask something, okay? That's how it goes. You have to ask something, Prabhu. Satyanand Prabhu, ask him something.
so, so it's maybe Prabhuji is not asking, but maybe suggestion. Is it okay? So how to get the suggestion?
Asking is good, that we are training, So how he has to answer if somebody asks something. How long, how short, how much. He ask very clear questions.
Yeah, yeah.
Even
So
if you know the answer, that's fine.
no, No, I was. It's not a question, but suggestion maybe. How to become such, the great devotee like Sadhunand Prabhu, Bimla
Oh,
Mataji, that they had a very nice present. Last two presentation I have been enjoying, and I'm struggling trying to do more, chanting and trying to do more and more. But how to get into there? That is the maybe question or maybe suggestion. Uh, that be Prabhuji. If you can give some instruction or tips, that will be good.
Um, I I think Ramacharya Prabhuji is there. Go. Maybe can give the
no, you have to
answer.
answer. He's asking you. Nope, you have to answer.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yes, Prabhuji. I think uh, for me is that somehow or other, as Krishna said in the as I explained one verse, right? Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmarayudhyacha mayarpita manobuddhir yomi bhakt. So in that verse, Krishna explains whatever we are doing, but one should be, you know, always think of Krishna, always think of Krishna somehow or other. So I'll share one more thing I personally do, Rabus, if it is allowed. Um,
Yeah, please go ahead, Prabhu.
yeah, I'm not sharing right my screen.
No.
Okay. Um, to engage two things, Prabhu. I think one thing is Prabhupada is a pure devotee. Um, Even though initially I was not, before coming to Krishna consciousness and at the beginning of the Krishna consciousness, my mindset was different. But gradually, when we are associating Prabhupada and reading him, and especially I love to listen his lectures from Prabhupada Vani, whatever it's going on, either preparing something or getting ready, we put a lecture that goes on, and then we grab something from that one for sure. But like, he's a pure devotee. Whatever he's saying is not like me. For example, I don't want to compare that way, but his words are very has the potency, because he know what he's talking. Usually in the material world, when we say so many things, but we don't know actually what we are talking. But when it comes to Prabhupada, he's a pure devotee, he's a very exalted position. Somehow or other, if you are listening, then that helps. That is one thing, Prabhu. And second thing, regarding the Bhagavad Gita, I'll share this one quickly. It's um, okay. I think I'm sharing. So I started this one, Prabhus. This is a spreadsheet. So I like the Bhagavad Gita daily recitation. So it is started, if you see, December 23rd, 2023. So it's almost 2 years. Um, at least, you know, reading some verses or translations from Bhagavad Gita also is one thing I would love to do it on regular basis, at least few verses. So this spreadsheet is there that helps me to, hook to it, because if I don't do it, it feels that like I didn't do it. At least the next day I would be doing a little more, something like that. That way, I don't know I'm answering to your question or not, but that way we are attached to Krishna's words from the Bhagavad Gita. So those are the couple of things, Prabhu, I wanted to share to your
Thank
question.
you so much, Prabhuji. It helped. It helped. It helps, Prabhuji. You answer the question.
Yeah.
And being in the material world, how we can force ourselves or myself having this kind of the leisure or kind of the daily activity, it helps to remind, self-reminder. So thank you so much, Prabhuji.
I
Yet,
appreciate.
Krishna.
Anybody else has anything that they'd like to know? We are almost at 12 now. I have another meeting to get on, but we can take if there is any questions. Okay, so here is what we'll do. I think we'll continue this presentation, and Sadbhujanand Prabhu, devotees who wants to join that batch, maybe I can, start that also. So on Saturday, maybe we can meet for, I don't know how many presentation we have here, maybe two more presentation.
No, Manohar Prabhu, he said he will
And
give presentation on December only because he is in India now. So next week, I think Shanta Mataji is going to give her presentation. Then it's end. We have only 4 devotees.
yeah, so we can basically do it next week with Santa Mataji.
Mm.
And then after that, I'm going to start my another batch that I added everybody. So I'm right now very busy, but makes sense. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank,
Thank you so
You
much,
did
thank,
you
thank
Prabhu.
you,
did
thank you so much.
an
Very
excellent
good, very
job.
good,
Hari
very
Bol.
good.
Yeah, you are done with Bhakti Sastri. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Hari Bol. Thank
Hare Krishna. Dandavat to
Hare
everybody.
Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Very
Hare Krishna.
good.
Hare Krishna.